If I'm checking this checkbox, line is getting drawn. If I uncheck, there is no line because the control is getting refreshed. This drawing gets refreshed. If I'm checking for this each circle, it is getting drawn. If I uncheck, it will be redrawn. This full form is getting redrawn. So these two actions we are doing at this checkbox check change event. So this way we can make this conditional using a checkbox control. So let's begin for working with the checkboxes. So to work with the checkboxes, so we will removing this draw line and draw circle. These are the two buttons. If you try to understand the differences between this button action and the checkbox, both of the controls, the button base is inherited into that class, and also both controls are the part of system.windows.forms.dl. So now if I see this button class, and where this button class, if you see this button base is inherited into the button class, and this represents us Windows button control. And same for the checkbox. This checkbox is also inherits this button base, and this is also a system.windows.forms a checkbox control. Now in a practical scenario, whenever we want to do something on the action basis, whether this particular thing we want like conditional, then we go for the checkbox control. Button control, if you want to perform some actions, that is going to do some long operation, not only just click, and this is going to be setting this variable true or false. So for the specific purpose, we are going to work with the checkboxes. So I'm going to remove this draw line and draw circle controls from here, and we'll bring another control checkbox. And we need two checkboxes. Drag another checkbox, or we can just make a copy of this same checkbox which we dragged on this form. This both checkboxes will just change this properties of this control, making this control visible with the bold font, and changing this font size as well. So first checkbox is for line. So chk line, I'll say chk line, and text also will be changing for this checkbox. So this text property I'm changing is line, and for this second checkbox I'll be changing to is circle, and chk circle. And now for these checkboxes, this each line and each circle, we have to generate a check change event. So as we have this properties into this section where we can see this range symbol, and second one is like thunderstorm symbol for the events. We go to events, and here is the checked change event. So just double click on it, it will create an event for chk line check change. So this is a checked changed is the event, and this is the name for this control we have given. For the second also, just right click, go to the properties, and generate checked change event. So for the circle as well. So these things we have to change, and the code which we have written for this button draw line, just cut it from here and paste inside this chk line check change event. And same thing for the circle as well, cut the code which we have written under this button draw circle and paste inside the chk circle check change event. And as we have removed this control, so we can remove this event handles as well from here. Using button control, we were passing this hard-coded variable as a true, but actually the checkbox is checked or unchecked, we have to find out. So we are going to change the value of this true hard-coded value. We are making it a dynamic based on the actual checkbox value. So here this chk line dot, here is the check property. It is get, so this check property, if you hover the mouse on this property and the intelligence code shows the snippet explanation, it's a summary of this property checked gets or set the value indicating whether checkbox is in the checked state. So if it is in the checked state, it will be written true and it will assign to this is line. And if it is false, so the false will be getting assigned. So here the code which we have written this OnPaint will be changing based on this variable value, based on this checkbox checked value. So same thing here, we can make it chk circle dot checked. So whatever the actual state, it will get assigned to this each line or each circle. Now run and check how it behaves. So if I check this each line, the line will get visible. If I uncheck, line will get invisible. Same for the circle. If I check, the state will get changed and this value will get assigned each circle. And this event is continuously invoking onPaint event, and it is refreshing using this invalidate method. In the same code base, if you want to avoid these two variable, that also we can do. So directly, if this chk line checked is already returning this boolean value, so we can just replace is line with the chk line dot checked. And same for chk circle, we can change this variable directly, and we can use this boolean value inside this onPaint event. So just to reduce the number of lines of code and extra two variables which we have declared here, so you can just delete those variables. And here also I can just delete this line. Only I'm just invalidated refreshing the things when the checkbox value gets changed. So run this one. If I'm checking this checkbox, line is getting drawn. If I uncheck, there is no line because the control is getting refreshed. This drawing gets refreshed. If I'm checking for this each circle, it is getting drawn. If I uncheck, it will be redrawn. This whole form is getting redrawn. So these two actions we are doing at this checkbox check change event. So this way we can make this conditional using a checkbox control.